How are you? High five. High five, folks. How are you? How was your day? Can we all quickly tell how was my day? In one word, how was your day? Yes. Okay. I see a few thumbs ups. Okay. So glad to know that your day was good. Okay. So today, from today, for another 2 weeks, okay, 2 or possible 3 weeks, right? We are going to learn about the art of problem solving. Okay. So this is going to be a very, very important skill, an important soft skill that you will not be taught at school or college directly, but it is a very important skill to work with teams, to work in a corporate environment. Okay. Are you all keen to learn problem solving? Are you all interested? Does this sound interesting? Have you heard about problem solving before? Okay. Thanks for the thumbs up. Have you heard about problem solving before? Has anyone heard? Okay. So let us start. I will just start with my base material and then we will proceed. Okay. Problem solving is more of an art. Okay. So I asked you a question. Have you heard of problem solving before? Right? Nobody answered. In a minute, you will know that we have heard of problem solving from a very small age. Okay. So I just want to confirm once more. Have you heard of problem solving before? Has anyone heard? You can say yes in the chat box if you have, or no in the chat box if you have not. Okay. Someone has heard. Okay, Syed. Very good, Syed. Okay. So today we will learn what is basic problem solving. I'm going to go very slow. Like I said, we will have a focused 20-25 minutes of learning and then we will stop. We started at 6:50. So I will probably stop in another 20-25 minutes. Okay. Right. So I asked you whether you have learned about problems or heard about problem solving before. Okay. How many of you know what this story means? Have you seen this crow? How many of you know what this story means? Someone tell the story. Volunteer who can tell the story. Quick. Anyone quickly raise your hands. Anyone? Syed. Okay. Do we have anyone new? Gayatri, Karpagam. In the story, Terima. Do you know this story? Quickly raise your hands. Let's not waste time. I just want you to tell a story. Okay, Gayatri, I'm unmuting you. And the story let's not worry about the karuthu. Let's not worry about what is the moral of the story. I just want you to tell the story. Gayatri?
I know little bit only. தமிழ்ல சொல்லலாமா?
Tamil is fine.
ஓகே மேம். அதாவது ஒரு காகம் வந்து ரொம்ப தாகமா இருந்தது மேம். அதுக்கு வந்து எங்க தண்ணி ஊர் ஃபுல்லா சுத்தி பாக்குது. அங்க வந்து எங்கேயுமே தண்ணி கிடைக்கல. அப்போ ஒரு மரம் பக்கத்துல வந்து பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு ஒரு பானையில வந்து கொஞ்சமா தண்ணி இருக்கிறத பாக்குது. ஸோ அந்த தண்ணிய பார்த்தோன்னே வந்து அதை குடிக்கலாம்னு ட்ரை பண்ணும்போது அது வந்து பானையில கொஞ்சம் அடியில தான் தண்ணி கிடைக்குது. சோ என்ன பண்ணலாம்னு யோசிக்கும் போது பக்கத்துல இருக்க அந்த ஸ்டோன்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா போட்டு போட்டு அந்த தண்ணிய மேல வர வச்சு குடிச்சது மேம்.
சூப்பர் சூப்பர், வெரி நைஸ். ஓகே. ஸோ இந்த ஸ்டோரியில இருந்து நமக்கு என்ன தெரிய வருது? வாட் டு யூ ஆஸ் அ சைல்டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் ஃப்ரம் த ஸ்டோரி? காயத்ரி.
அந்த டைம்ல தண்ணி அதுல கிடைக்குதுன்னு தெரிஞ்சும் ஓகே இத வந்து ட்ரை பண்ணலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த பக்கத்துல இருக்க ஸ்டோன்ஸ் எல்லாம் போட்டு எடுத்து குடிச்சது மேம்.
Okay, okay. So thanks, Da. The idea behind this story is that I will quickly reiterate the story for those who have not heard it in Tamil. So there was a crow. Okay, the crow was very thirsty. He was searching for water for a long distance. He couldn't find water. He saw a pot, and the pot had very less water. He didn't know what to do. He was thinking on how to get to the water. The problem in front of the crow was how to drink the water in the pot. So he looked around. He saw some stones. So he said, okay, let me try putting the stone in the water. And he started putting one stone after the other till the water came up. And after that, he drank the water and flew away happily. This is a story that we were told as a child. Okay? This story is our very first idea or exposure to problem solving. நமக்கு வந்து first problem solving கத்து கொடுத்த story இந்த காக்கா story தான். Okay, how did it teach us the concept of problem solving? Whenever you have a problem, okay, the story taught us to think and understand what was the actual problem. So whenever you have a problem in front of you, first understand or simply try to state the problem very clearly. So first வந்து ஒரு problem இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் வந்து கிளியரா நமக்கு சொல்ல தெரியும். A clearly stated problem is half solved. ஏன் அப்படி சொல்றோம்னா if you know to clearly state the problem, then you really know what is the difficulty and how it can be solved. Okay, right? So when we talk of the crow story, the problem was the crow was not able to drink water. The crow understood that there is some water, but just that it's not able to drink. Right? So when you think of a crow, the logic with which the crow was working was, okay, I want to drink water. I see that the water in the pot is very less. So now what can I do? The question is what? So what? Right? So it asked itself, right? Why am I not able to drink the water? Then it realized that the water was very less. It was in the bottom. So then it asked, why? What can I do to bring it up? Right? Then it understood that it needs to somehow push the water to come up. Right? Then it thought, okay, what options I have? There are a lot of stones. Started putting one stone after the other till the water came. And it finally drank the water. For every problem that we have, we follow the same approach. Without being conscious about it, we follow the same approach. நமக்கே தெரியாது. இப்ப சாப்பிடுறது வந்து நம்ம கான்சியஸா கையால எடுத்து சாப்பிடுறோமான்னு உத்து பாக்குறோமா? தானாவே சாப்பிடுறோம்ல. Even if there is no current, we are still able to eat. Right? Same way, in our subconscious abilities, we all solve problems daily. And this it will be similar to what approach we just heard now. Okay. So in this section on problem solving for the next 2 to 3 weeks, right, we are going to learn about how to approach problems and how to solve them. Okay, right? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Am I going in the right speed? Do you want me to slow down? Or do you want me to speed up? Okay, fine. Okay, right. So now we are going to start off with a small example. Okay. This you just attended the exercise, no? You just attended the analytical thinking session, right? So I want quick answer. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. What can be the next number? What can be the next number? Wow, we have some quick computers here. Okay. Syed, Gayatri, Karpagam, very good. Syed said 21, Gayatri said 21, 23, Karpagam said 21. Very good, very good. Now let me just take you through the answer, okay? The obvious solution is 21, which everyone said, right? You keep adding 2 to all the numbers, you get the 21. Well done on that, okay? We are able to get to the obvious solution. The first step is to get to the obvious solution. First one, the basic என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு தெரியணும். Okay, and the obvious solution you people know. I'm very happy about it. Okay, now I know the obvious solution, right? But I want to show you that it is possible to solve every problem in multiple ways. Okay, which we call as the power of lateral thinking. Okay, thinking little differently. So a number, see, if you see this series, right? It shows that the number is starting with the odd digit. Okay, so after 19, if you take numbers that are starting with odd digits, right? All the 20 series number will go away because it is starting with even number 2, right? Let me just take my pen. So after 19, if you search for numbers that start with odd digit, from 20 to 29, you cannot take any number because the first digit is not an odd number, it is an even number 2. After that, right, you have 30 and 31. Here again, if I see, the numbers are all odd numbers. So 31 is the number that fits both the criteria. This is called a lateral thinking approach, right, to problem solving. Okay, are these the only 2 possible solutions for the problem? No, there is one more very beautiful way of solving this problem. The answer can be 20. Let us see how. Okay, now let us take the 19 table. Okay, so if you take the 19 table, I want you to follow with me. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 20. So 19 table oda multiplication la first 2 digits. First 2 digits if you take first 2 digits if you take, it is coming to 20. Did anybody think of this kind of approach? Are you shocked? Are you shocked? Are you shocked by the answers? Did you think there are so many ways to solve a problem? Okay, nice. So this is how developing problem solving abilities will change your mind. Okay, what I showed is just number. If you take larger work related problems, it will be even more interesting. I will show you one such problem in the coming classes. Are you with me? Are you with me? Can I proceed? Okay. I hope it's not difficult or anything. Okay, fine. Yes. So now we are going to continue with understanding problem solving. The example that you just saw now, right? It is the way in which problem solving will equip your mind. Okay. The idea that I want you to understand is there are more than one way, more than one correct ways to solve the same problem. You can apply this to life. If somebody is asking you any question related to your life, right? You can always think and say, there are more than one way to solve a problem. The idea is, the idea behind problem solving is how do you justify your approach? நீ ஏன் வந்து 21 சொல்லாம 31 சொல்ற இல்ல ஏன் 20 சொல்ற அப்படின்றத ஜஸ்டிஃபை பண்றதுல தான் இருக்கு your problem solving capability, right? So now we have this entire series of topics to cover over the next 2 weeks. I will be taking it very, very slow because this is a very useful skill, very important skill when it comes to your job. Okay. So we will follow the ideal framework. Okay. So we will try to understand how the ideal framework works and how do we solve problems. What are the different techniques for problem solving and so on. Okay. Now, before I proceed any further in today's session, I want to introduce you to the ideal framework. Okay. Whenever you think of a problem, the first thing you do is identify the problem correctly. That is why I said, if you can clearly define the problem, then your problem is half solved. Okay. For that, first you should identify the correct problem. Okay. Then once you identify the problem, you define it clearly. Define na enna appadina, it is not the book definition. By define we mean and the problem teliva solla theriyum. Tell about the problem with clarity. What is the input, what is the output, where is the problem happening, is there a point where the problem is not happening, right? So you need to have that very clear idea of the problem, right? Then you have to explore for all the possible solutions. So there is, you have identified the problem, now you have defined the problem clearly, right? So the question here is you have to explore the possible solutions for the problem. Just in the example, we saw that there can be more than one way to solve a problem. So when I say there can be more than one way to solve a problem, I want you to understand that you need to identify all the alternatives for solving the problem. Okay, right? Then once you know what are all the alternatives, you have to choose the correct alternative. Pick the correct alternative which will work for you. For this, you need to know the advantage and disadvantage of each option. If you have identified 3 options, right, you need to know the advantage and disadvantage of each of these options, right? Right? So that is one. Then you have to pick the correct alternative and implement that alternative. Get into action. Okay. When you get into action, you have to keep monitoring how your solution or action is helping you to solve the problem. At the end of the monitoring cycle, if you look back, the data that you have will tell whether you have solved the problem using this action or not, or how much have you solved. So the idea is to identify the problem, define the problem very clearly, explore the problem, right? Explore the opportunities or alternates to solve the problem, Pick the correct alternate and act upon it, and then measure how you have implemented the solution. Right? You can apply this for anything. Suppose the problem is you're always getting late to the college. Okay. So you have identified that you're being late. Okay. So if I tell you to define the problem, you should say something like, if I leave the home at around 8:10, I am getting delayed to the college by 10 minutes. Okay. So this is very clear. So you know what is the cost. You are saying if you leave at 8:05, you're getting 10 minutes delay. So you know what is the cost, what is the effect. You know both. Okay. Then you are exploring the options now. What are all the options I have? Can I walk and go? Can I go in my two-wheeler? Can I take the college bus? Can I take the Ola or Uber? Right? So now you will choose the right option. You may not be able to walk if your college is not near your home. You may not take Ola or Uber if it is very costly to go. Right? You may not be able to take public transport in case you don't make it on time. The one option that is very promising is the college bus, because you have to get ready for the college bus as per the college bus time. That will stop the delay in getting ready. So now what you will do, you will pick that as your action. You will go pay the money for the college bus. You will start traveling in the college bus. In 6 months, if you keep checking if you have ever been late again, if you have followed the college bus properly, if you've gotten the bus properly, right, you would have not missed any college classes on the first hour. With that, you can say, you can go to your dad and say, Dad, you paid 40,000 for my college bus, and see, I have not missed any classes on day one, in the first hour, right? So this is how you work on problem solving. So the idea is to identify, right? Define, explore alternatives, get into action, and measure how well you have implemented the solution. Is this clear? Any questions so far? Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I clear? Can I have thumbs up or a response? Am I clear? Okay. Okay. So now we are going to start off with how to approach a problem. But before that, I want you to tell me what is a problem. Can someone in Tamil, in your own words, unna portha varaikum problem na enna? What is a problem? Na bookla irukra problem kekla. Generally, the word problem. What is a problem? Gayatri, Karpagam, you can all type on the chat. What is the problem? Anyone who wants to speak can please raise your hand. I would love to have some volunteer. Let me ask someone to volunteer. Okay, Kannadasan is here. Okay. Kannadasan, what is problem, pa? Problem na enna? Kanna, what is problem? Okay, he is quiet. Let me try with someone else. Okay, Puvarasan. Puvarasan, what is the problem? Problem என்றால் என்ன? Puvarasan கேக்குதா? Puvarasan. Okay, can some volunteer please raise your hand? I would like to hear from one of you on what is a problem. Okay, let me see if I have. பதில் தெரியாத கேள்வி. Who is that? Vishnu Prasad. Super da. Okay. Gayatri says our final year project. ரொம்ப சோகமா இருக்கீங்கன்னு தெரியுது. ஓகே, அதெல்லாம் வந்து ப்ராப்ளம் தான். ஓகேவா? let us take it very light. Okay, problem means பிரச்சனை. அப்துல், நீ வந்து நேர்ல என்னைக்காவது வா, உனக்கு கண்டிப்பா பிரியாணி வாங்கி தரேன். ப்ராப்ளம் மீன்ஸ் பிரச்சனை. வெரி குட் அப்துல், ஐ லைக் இட். ஓகே, சரி. ப்ராப்ளம்னா என்ன அப்படின்னு கேட்டா ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். ஓகே, தெரியாதது. நமக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியாததுதான் ப்ராப்ளம். we don't know. Okay, something that is unknown is called a problem. இவ்ளோ சிம்பிளா முடிஞ்சிரும் நீங்க நினைக்கல. Did anyone think it will be this simple? Okay, something that is unknown and we are trying to find a way to know it, that is problem. Okay, so problem solving na enna அப்படின்னா, see, you know that there is some unknown thing and you want to understand that and solve it, right? That process is called problem solving. Okay, so when I say I am doing problem solving, the first step is to know what you don't know. உனக்கு என்ன தெரியாது, உன் பிரச்சனை என்ன அப்படி நம்ம கேக்குறோம்ல, that is the first step, knowing what is your problem, right? Then the second step is to solve the problem. So you can say I will solve the problem by finding x, y, z, etc. எப்படின்னா, the first step is to identify what caused the problem. இப்ப இந்த காலேஜ் போற எக்ஸாம்பிள் எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஓகே, லேட்டா போறதுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காரணம் என்ன அப்படின்னு கேட்டா 2-3 காரணம் வரும். ஓகே, நைட்டு வந்து நெட்ஃபிளிக்ஸ் பார்த்தேன், அப்பா வந்து எப்படியும் பைக்ல கொண்டு போய் விட்டுருவாருன்னு நினைச்சேன், ரைட்? இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய காரணம். இதுல you have to identify the strongest cause. The most probable strongest cause will be having someone to என்ன சொல்றது, having someone to drop you or pick you up, maybe your friend, right? That is the first cause of getting up late. பாத்துக்கலாம். The second thing is to identify and select the correct alternative which can give you a solution. So you cannot say I don't want friends, right? What you can say is you can tell your friend to come early. That is one option. If you are going with your dad, you can tell your dad to remind to start early, right? If you are doing it because of Netflix, you can have developed some self-control habit to stop watching Netflix after 10:30, or you can disable your data after 10:30, right? Based on all of such solution, you will select a solution that is very easy to implement. Okay, ஒரு பிரச்சனையை சால்வ் பண்ணா அது கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. அந்த பிரச்சனையை சால்வ் பண்ணதுக்கு இருக்கிறதுலே சிம்பிள் சொல்யூஷன் எடுத்தா கூட we can solve the problem. Okay, is this clear till now? Is this clear till now? Am I clear? Am I clear, folks? Okay, right. So it is 7:20. I'm going to use the last 5 minutes to quickly give you a summary. Okay. In today's session, we learned, or I introduced you to the concept of problem solving. We started off with the story of the crow, a thirsty crow. So we said that whenever there is a problem, we we usually try to think of a solution and solve it. That is our nature. And I also said that whenever there is a problem, there is no single correct solution. There can be multiple correct solutions. Saw the example of an analytical problem, right? So whenever you think of a problem, I said it is important to follow the ideal framework, right? The ideal framework says I stands for identifying the problem. D stands for clearly defining the problem, where you say what is not working, what is it, right? And then E says exploring alternatives. What are all the alternatives you have, right, to solve your problem? Then you pick the effective alternative and then go for action, right? Then after that you take up the correct action and you measure how well you have solved the problem. Okay, so I then introduced you to the concept of problem itself. I asked you what is a problem, right? A problem is something that is unknown, something that you need to solve, right? So there are different steps involved in uncovering or solving the unknown. That process is called problem solving, right? So in problem solving, there are some fixed set of steps. The first step is to identify the cost of the problem. What caused the problem? எதுனால நடந்துச்சு? இந்த பிரச்சனை எப்படி வந்துச்சு? Right? The second step is to explore all the possible ways or alternatives in which you can solve it. The third step is to pick the most effective alternative. அந்த எப்படி பிக் பண்றதுன்னு கேட்டா அதுக்கு வந்து நிறைய வழிமுறைகளுக்கு நம்ம ஒரு தனிப்பட்ட ஆளா இருந்தா நமக்கு எது வந்து அட்வான்டேஜ்னு பார்த்து நம்ம பிக் பண்ணுவோம். If it is a company, it can be based on cost or the company's reputation, கம்பெனியோட பேரு, right? கம்பெனியோட பட்ஜெட், இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கு, right? And once you pick the right alternative, you have to start implementing it. இதுல இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றதுல என்ன ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் நம்ம ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும்னா, இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணும்போதே நம்ம வந்து அதை மெஷர் பண்ணினே வரணும், இல்ல அதை வந்து மானிட்டர் பண்ணினே வரணும். எந்த அளவுக்கு நம்ம கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்க சொல்யூஷன் அந்த ப்ராப்ளம சால்வ் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னு மானிட்டர் பண்ணிட்டே வரணும். Once you have implemented the solution, you will be able to monitor it and prove that your solution was effective, right? As an engineer, you will be faced with multiple problems in your corporate life on a day-to-day basis. நிறைய corporate company work on giving problem solving sessions for their workforce. உங்களுக்கு அது ஃப்ரீயா கிடைக்குது. Okay, I want everyone to keep persisting in the next 2 weeks. This is a very important topic. So in tomorrow's session, we will continue with a problem solving approach in detail. Whatever outline I have given, we will elaborate each of that in the coming sessions. Okay, any questions so far? Is it all clear? Is it useful? Is it useful? Okay, fine. So I will meet you all in tomorrow's session. I thank you for your time. Please keep continuing the session. 5 months is very small time, but the amount of skills that you will learn at the end of 5 months is very big, which you will not get. The toppers in the college may not get this, right? So I want you to appreciate this opportunity and keep learning. Okay, have a good day. Please take care. Karthi?
Yes, ma'am.
It is over, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.